Hello everybody, it's John here. It is March the 30th and I'm back out here at my top bar hive here, the Hive. Last week, 7 days ago, I installed a cold early season swarm that I caught, and now it's 7 days later and I'm just wanting to get in here and do a quick check and see how they're building comb and how much they have. I came out a couple days after installing them and they were still here, so they made it a home. One of the first things I'd like to show you though, when it comes to a top bar hive, I think one of the most critical things, especially as you install a new swarm into it, it's very critical that you keep your hive level. I'm sure on all hives it has that, but especially on a top bar, since you're only using the frames here, it's very critical that you're horizontal and perpendicular maybe is level, because if you would be unlevel, the bees build the comb straight to gravity. So if your hive is off an inch or two, that causes then the comb to be off, and it'll give you a lot more problems when it comes to cross combing, let's say, or comb manipulation as you're trying to go through your hive. So I just wanted to check again real quick before I got into it that this hive is still level after going through winter. And again, when it comes to this direction on your hive, I think is the most critical at being level. And then the perpendicular to that, let's say, you want to keep it as close to level as possible. I left some bars at the other end here where I can easily take them out. The entrance is down here, of course, so that way I can slide the divider board. Dang, they've already glued that down pretty good. So that way I can remove the divider board and back it up here a little bit so that I can get in and see what they've been doing on the first few bars here by the entrance itself. Folks, I made a mistake. It's always amazing how I think the bees are going to do what I think they should do. But in this case, they have not. I always check my hive after I put a swarm in about 2 days, make sure they're building the comb straight. This hive I didn't. Again, I waited 7 days. I just thought they'd be fine. But I've done something different this year. I added the dowel rods to these top bars. And I've never had any trouble this bad starting out, where the bees built cross comb at the beginning of the hive in the brood area. But this year, since I put these frames in like this with these 3 bars, I really think it provided an obstacle for them. And they really started, I've got about 4 frames or 5 of curved comb across 3 bars, 2 and 3 bars. And if I don't fix that now, when it's only about 5 bars deep, this hive is going to be a mess and I won't be able to do any manipulation in the future here. So what I had to do was go and get some bars of wax brood honey from my other top bars that are nice and straight. Like I say, usually they build nice straight comb on these here grooves that I've installed on these top bars. And if there is a little mistake, I can catch it quick enough and straighten it up by manipulating it, and then they do fine. Well, this time they didn't. So my best bet now is to go ahead. I've got 4 combs here that are nice and straight. Some have brood on them, a little bit of honey and pollen. And I'm just going to try to slowly put them in from the very end, work my way down, and then take the comb they've built out. There's no way I can make it work or hang on to my bars I have. I have no way to hold that there for them to build it back up. And since there's a small amount, I'm just gonna start new. And I don't think it'll affect the hive. I think they'll stay and have no trouble. Like I say, some of this does have young brood on it that I'm putting in here. So here we go, and we'll see what happens with this. Now here's a good example of the dowel rod working, but again, they had other brood on each side, so they built a nice straight comb and takeoff. So this one here has a little bit of brood on it. They built it nice, and they do usually fill this in. I mean, again, I just started this last summer, but they'll fill this in and sometimes leave walkways in between them. But I'm believing that'll make it a lot stiffer again on the honey end, where I've had comb collapse the last couple of summers from the high heat. And that's the purpose of me doing that. So I'll put a comb in, and I'll put an empty bar in here, and I'll keep sliding this on down. Actually, here's one they're festooning on it, and it's waxed a little better. I think I'll use this one instead of the new one. And then here is where they've started cocking the comb. And again, right here's a piece, and it's cocked at about a 40, almost a 45-degree angle. And the next 3 bars, it's on it pretty crooked. There's actually 3 combs on, separate combs on 1 bar here. So I leveled the hive. It was fine. It's just the problem was, I think I put too many of these dowel rod frames close together. And I believe that's what my big mistake was, in not checking it after a couple days to make sure they're doing fine. So I'll leave this one in here since they're festooning on it and starting to build right next to the good comb I put in. And then this one here, like I say, they've got nothing much in it. It's just they're starting to put a little bit of pollen and nectar in it. This is what I've got to clean out now. And here's a nice frame of brood. And again, they always build such good, straight, beautiful comb, except for this time. So I'll put that in next. And I am leaving a gap between them. I know you're not supposed to leave a gap, more than 2 gaps between the broods so that they stay warm enough. But there's so many bees in here right now trying to build wax, I don't think it's going to be an issue. And most of this brood is already capped. And here's another one, and it's twisted. What's sad is they do have pollen on it. But again, I just wonder, by the looks of these here bars, they tried to build and miss them. This here is kind of what I'm up against. And these are the 3 frames of wax that they've started here. And I have got to fix that, because you can see here how they're kind of building some awful wonky comb on them. I don't see any really brood started in yet. I'm sure there could be a few eggs in there. I haven't got into the middle ones yet, but I'm going to smoke the bees off of there. And they're already taken to the new frames I put in. It's just a good thing I caught it now, instead of a month from now. Make sure there ain't a queen on here. And this is such fragile comb. But again, this one has nothing but nectar and a little bit of pollen in it. And then here's another one again with a little bit of brood at the bottom and some honey and pollen. And it's built nice and straight. I'll put it here for them to build against. So that's basically it. I've got 2 more to put in here, and I've got to take these next 3 combs are a little bigger. I'm going to try to get them out of there and find something to put them in here, and I'll probably let the bees hopefully find it and take off the nectar off of it at least. I'll see if I can see the queen in here. I probably won't, because there's so much going on. Still got a lot of bees flying in and out here. So what I'm trying to do is give them a better start, and then hopefully I don't have to worry about the cross combing. as the time goes on, as they fill it up, I do always every so often come in and check if they're building comb, especially in the swarming season. Make sure they do stay straight. Always, again, like I said, at the honey end, the last 4 or 5 bars, they will sometimes try to curve it. And since it's far away from the hole, I'm just wondering if they're not trying to get better airflow. I really don't know why they do that. And the honey end always, instead of an inch, the bars are 1.5 inches wide, they'll sometimes have 2-inch combs of honey on them. So those are the ones I always harvest. And the crooked ones that do happen at the very end, and that's usually, like I say, the harvestable honey at the end of the year. The rest of the 80% of the hive is usually always straight comb, and especially, like I said in the past, in the brood area. Now comes the fun part. Beekeepers can make mistakes. I've made several, and it's always a learning experience, and I will not let that happen again. But these bees were such an early swarm, it kind of threw me off track, and I should have paid more attention at the beginning here. I'm going to watch as I do these dowel rods. I may not put many of them in the brood area, and I'm seriously thinking about, I helped a gentleman redo his top bars, and we ended up using some foundation, black foundation, for your Langstroth hives for the frames, and we cut them in 1-inch strips, and then took the table saw, and made a groove and drove them in, glued them in, and that way we had an almost 3/4 to an inch starter strip here of the foundation. And on the hives we've done that on, there has never been much of an issue. They've really are good about taking off of that. So I'm thinking about redoing some of mine, especially when I put them in as a new swarm, and using those at the beginning or every so often to keep them straight. And even on those, I would probably still put a dowel rod at the honey end, just to give them some more support. I really believe that dowel rod's going to help this summer again when it gets hot and there's such a heavy load of honey on them. As always, thank you for watching. This has been a little bit of a bee adventure. I hope you're all doing well. It's a beautiful sunny day, about 75, and it is March the 30th. So you all have a blessed day, and good bee season for you.